Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, guys, we're gonna have, I would say, 3 different videos because the last 2 days have been kind of slow. This is kind of like the third day because it's Kostic, but we're gonna have 2 tactic videos. One that's actually gonna be of my own that I really enjoy using, climbing divisions, because since the last couple of days have been slower and I don't necessarily need to do the player review content, I've actually been playing on my main account and I found a tactic that I just really like. It's very similar to the very first video that I showed you guys for the custom tactics, but just slight changes here and there that just makes it work really well because of the types of players that you need for it to move. And then we're also gonna be checking out Stallion's tactics as well, which is pretty cool for what it is as well. So yeah, we're gonna be definitely putting those out. So 3 videos today, more or less, and we'll take it from there. So guys, with this Kostic card, taking a look at someone who's 6 foot tall, high work rates, left-footed, 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot. Let's be honest, right? You unlock a card like this. Excuse me, my voice. I look at Kostic and I'm like, oh my god, 3 days in a row of nothing. This Kostic card, you unlock him mostly if you're going to be using him in the defensive positions, right? So you know how I already have a 4 at the back in this formation right here? Kostic would be added into that 4 at the, well, not 4 at the back, he'd be added into a 5 at the back, right? So with Kostic, we would play him in the CDM position or left back position mostly, because if you give him a shadow chemistry style, he actually has some defensive stats. Now, I wouldn't recommend him in the CDM area, although he can play it because he has the high workers and he has decent defensive stats. But this card is definitely going to be mostly someone that people are going to be unlocking to play in the left back position mostly, or in the left mid position playing in a 3-5-2, because it's always nice to have someone who is attacking oriented as well as defensive oriented, right? High work rates, can attack, can defend, and can potentially get upgraded, which we're going to be seeing at the end, because I need to see how well Frankfurt are doing in the Europa League, because I actually don't know. So I need to see how far the card's going to go. But for the sake of the review, we are going to be using him in the attacking position, which is why we have him on the finisher chemistry style, right? So on the finisher chemistry style, we're going to have pace to be at a 91-90 for base card stats. Shooting will be improving by a lot, to be fair. A 95 for finishing to a 96 with shot power. Attacking positioning at an 87. So I don't expect his attacking AI to be that crazy, but it could potentially be decent, because in the striker position, high work rates are not bad, or is not bad for certain players, right? So if you're using like a Heung-min Son, for instance, he actually plays pretty well in that area. But again, I still prefer the high, medium, high lows in that area anyways. Like I said, this card is mostly a card I could see being used in a left mid or left back position mainly, right? Maybe with some improvements in the future, if they go far, then I could see the defending being improved, but it's not really a base card characteristic of his, right? So with the passing is pretty decent. Dribbling we'll be experimenting with in game with the finisher chemistry style. You could still tell the base characteristics of the card even if you give him the dribbling boost. Defensive stats are there, so it's actually pretty helpful to have from time to time. And then for physical, he has 91 for stamina, so that with the high work rates could be a very cool thing to use, mainly in those positions. I can maybe see him being pretty good in the center mid position as well, because he has decent defensive stats. So maybe if you play in a 3 midfield setup where he's playing as a left center mid, it could be okay. But like I said, guys, there's going to be moments where having a 4-star weak foot is just really nice, and it's very important that players have that nowadays, right? So with Kostic, guys, you guys know the formation that we usually use, just the 4-3-2-1. This is the, I like to use this formation for the reviews. It's this one and the 4-2-3-1 narrow as well to kind of test out the cards. But we're going to have Kostic play over here. Wirtz will switch there. Chan over here. Rttk over here. And we'll just play him in the striker position, maybe get some attacking opportunities with him, and we'll take it from there. For those of you wondering what my camera settings are, it's actually like co-op 13 and 7. It's the one I'm mostly comfortable with. It's my boy Matthew. He gave it to me like last year, and yeah, it's pretty nice. You can see a pretty good majority of the field, so it's cool. Okay, so he actually makes that run himself. Goes back into position quickly. Aggressive run here again. Yeah, so right there, I kind of got lucky with like the first initial touch against the defender, because he kind of put me in a position where I can definitely hit a left-footed strike there across goal. But then we have to kind of like work with it a little bit on the left stick as well. Making a run there again. Try to get like a lob pass to him. First time? To be fair, that run that he does right there was actually really solid. That was really good. And once he gets into that position on a finisher chemistry style, he'll definitely score that opportunity. It's a good run by him. I'm definitely noticing that, at least from him. Look, he's doing it again. First time from there? Wow. That's interesting, actually. He is the type to make those runs. Yeah, he's a runner for sure. That's interesting. Like, he'll constantly do it. Like, he gets to a certain point where he kind of waits because of the high work rates, but then he'll just make an aggressive run. Look, he actually pushes close here to me. You know what? For the way that dribbling works in this game, on a finisher chemistry style, he actually can move. He's not amazing at it, but... On his left... Oh, I actually thought he scored that. I like testing them out without hitting the green time shots, because on a 45, it's actually a pretty decent angle. Then obviously with a green time shot, it's like a higher percentage, but I know not a lot of you guys like always use it. First time? Yeah, once you get those angles, first time shot, boom. Yeah, he's definitely a runner, man. He's definitely a runner for sure, which is super interesting. Yeah, once he gets into those positions, guys, he's definitely going to make those runs. So you could tell the high work rate parts when he's initially building up the play. But you can see that once my side player made the run and I got the ball to him, that's when Kostic activates it himself, you know? Look, even right there, he already starts to do it. There you go, get him on a green time shot. Nicely done, nicely done. Nice little driven to the bottom left there. Beauty, beauty. Yep. Even still, man, I got the ball to him because he made that run himself. You know what? That's not necessarily like a bad thing to have if you're actually playing him in that left mid area. Like, the only real thing that you have to be mindful of is his weak foot, right? Because if he doesn't have skill moves, I honestly don't care. You guys know I barely do skill moves anyways. It's more just the weak foot that's an issue from time to time, of course, right? Weak foot? Yeah. Those ones, like, you expect that. Like, when you don't have you know, at least a 3-star, you know? It's gonna be affected from time to time. To be honest with you guys, the card is not as bad as I thought it would be. I honestly thought he would be awful. I don't think he's awful. I just don't see the longevity with this card in the attacking positions because of base characteristics with weak foot, skill moves, and all that kind of stuff. But he definitely plays better than I thought he would, for sure. Oh, if the pass was actually good there, that would have been perfect. Because he already made a really good run right there, especially for his left foot. Yeah, look at that. We're actually getting some goals with him on his left foot. Again, on the finisher chemistry style, because his finishing and shot power is so high, once you get into those like really high percentage strike areas, like he hits them really well on his strong foot. Oh, I almost scored a bicycle kick with him. That would have been so sick. Could you imagine I actually hit that? That would have been crazy. Without greening it, eh? Without greening it right there. Again? Figured. A weak foot, man, I'm telling you. I didn't even want to time it. I just wanted to take it normally just to see how he would kind of come off with it, you know? Ooh, imagine he scored that, eh? That would have been wild. There you go, a little bit of a defensive play there. Can't go wrong with that. I tried to... I got the animation from the defender. I didn't get it from the goalkeeper, though. I was kind of hoping it was from the goalkeeper, because then I had to get closer to him and then go for like a left stick touch instead. See how he comes close in the general build-up from there? Then he does the run. See? First time. Ah. Almost got him there. He actually gave me a little bit of a defensive play there too, which wasn't bad. Okay, guys, so final verdict on this Kostic card. To be honest with you guys, this SBC had potential if he had the weak foot. But even without the weak foot, the card isn't as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I still think that the reason why you would unlock a card like this is because you actually want to use him in the left back position, which, like I said, guys, wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, because if you take a look at this card's stats in game on, let's just say, an anchor chemistry style, right? High work rates, 91 stamina. He can shoot, pass, dribble with the height at 6 foot tall, average body type. He offers a defensive presence because of that alone, right? So that type of stuff is really cool to work with. I honestly believe that for base characteristics on this card, the one thing that he's lacking is that weak foot. I don't care about him not having the skill moves, but if you were to give a card like this a finisher chemistry style, right, with the way that he defends because of his body type and the way that he moves across the pitch with his high work rates, pushing forward, coming back, if he had a 4-star weak foot, I actually think the SBC at 33k wouldn't be bad to get, to be honest with you guys. But I think the 2-star weak foot is very underwhelming for the longevity of the card, unless you want to strictly use him in that left back position, or potentially in that center mid or CDM position with future improvements. Because if we take a look at the group stage that Frankfurt is in, they are in first place against Olympiacos, Fenerbahce, Antwerp. To be honest, it's not like a super easy group. I'm actually very surprised that Fenerbahce only has 2 points from this group. Well, I mean, Olympiacos is pretty solid, but, you know, Frankfurt's in first place, so, you know, he can definitely potentially get some upgrades on the card for sure, which would definitely be very cool. But for the longevity of the card, I do think it is mostly for the left back position, or if you are a lower tier player building a Bundesliga squad and want to have someone like this in your team. Because like I said, guys, on his left foot with the finisher chemistry style, 95 finishing, 96 shot power, he takes some pretty decent strikes, man. He actually hits the ball really well on his strong foot. But that's if you get him on his strong foot, if he gets into those areas, right? The dribbling on the finisher actually helps out a lot as well, considering the height and physical presence that he has. Like I said, the only thing that's lacking is that weak foot, to be honest with you guys. Like, I actually think the SBC wouldn't have been that bad, but for now, if you're unlocking him and you want to use him in the left back position, because you already have like a 4 at the back that's set and you're going to line up with a 5 at the back, you could totally do this card. It'd actually be pretty solid to have in that position if you're putting some SBC fodder into it. But generally speaking, it is quote-unquote dead content, right? Like, the last 3 days have been pretty slow, but I do think that the reason why they do this mostly is when they release the new content on the Friday, those usually tend to pick up a little bit. They did the same thing last year, hopefully, so we'll see if EA comes clutch with it. Again, let's just say, guys, not an SBC that I would complete myself, but he did play better than I thought he would, to be honest with you guys. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys for the tactic videos later today. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.